COVID-19, and we will do the introduction as we constitute the panel for today's topic. It is going to be a mind-blowing one. It will expose us to latest trends and how to optimize our practices. This is practical for every lawyer present today. So you have come at the right time. We have chosen the right session to attend, and we are confident that the lead speaker, the paper presenter, will do justice as usual to the topic before us. To start, we would like to commence with the national anthem, the first stanza, Akwa State anthem, the first stanza, and we'll take the NBA prayer afterwards. Thank you. Please, DJ. May I request that I say, Chief Magistrate, can we all rise, then colleagues? Shall we rise to take the national anthem?
The NBA prayer. Almighty God, our Creator, we pray you to be with us in all our deliberations and to direct our endeavors so that we shall continue in all humility to glorify thy name and do that which is right and just for our probation, its members, our fellow men, and our country. Amen.
Thank you. Please, you may have a seat. You're welcome to today's session. Let's quickly recognize the following persons here present. I must say that we have a great distribution of illustrious careers in the audience today. To recognize Leonard Silk, Wilson Inam, who is a partner at Templars. So we're glad to have you. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. We also have in our midst Chief Magistrate Esther Etugudo, who will also be chairing the session, the panel discussion. She is the chairman of MAN, Magistrates Association of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom chapter. Let's not forget, she was a former member of this branch and a treasurer in this branch. Present, I don't know if he stepped out, Chief Magistrate Otobong Rudon. I think he stepped out when he was here a lot earlier. It's good to have you today. The next thing our item is our earning capacities have been improved, really improved. He's doing a great job in that committee. He's all the way to the back. I'm sure he's assisting people to the protocol team to put this together. Very quickly, we have chairman of the planning committee. Chairman of this branch, I will recognize you at the very, very end. Okay, we have chairman of the planning committee, Mpo. This beautiful event was packaged under his leading, so we're glad to have you. Welcome. And thank you for gathering us like you did last year. Thank you very much, sir. Our guest all the way from Abuja. Let's recognize Mr. Chidi Ezenwafo. He is the past secretary of the FDA Abuja branch. At this point, I think I can say, sir, you've worked where I want to work. Exactly. You've traded this park before. It's good to have you. He was here yesterday and he's going to be a part of the panel that will soon be constituted. I wish this hall were brighter. I'm struggling to see faces. Yes, I've seen former chairman of this branch. So may we recognize you, UDA Ime Esquire. He doesn't miss our branch meetings. Despite leaving office, I think 3 administrations ago, he's always present at meetings. And that's a good quality that he follows up. He has not abandoned this branch. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. We have the NACO chair of this branch, the meeting, Mr. Inyamokun Esquire. Let's recognize him. Let's recognize Leonard Senior Dayo Ojoabo. Good to have you, ma'am. Okay, very briefly, please. Let's constitute the panel and then we can welcome the lead speaker to present the paper. May I quickly apologize for the absence of Professor Uweluba. He unavoidably is absent this morning because he was called upon for a national assignment, one that he could not turn down. But we have a good substitute, one who will do justice to the session. You're welcome, Leonard Magistrate. Welcome. Our lead speaker today is not unknown to us. But if you permit me, I'd like to read out his brief biography. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present Inam Wilson, a highly respected legal practitioner, senior advocate of Nigeria, and partner at 10+. He heads the firm's labor and employment and transportation practice groups, and he is also a key member of the investigations white-collar crimes and compliance practice. Mr. Inam holds a Master of Laws degree in Maritime and Commercial Law from Lagos State University and is a notary public of Nigeria. Over the years, he has built an outstanding reputation in dispute resolution, maritime and aviation law, labor and employment law, regulatory compliance, and commercial litigation. He regularly advises and represents clients ranging from small and medium-sized enterprises to multinational corporations. Widely regarded as one of Nigeria's leading labor and employment law practitioners, he has made significant contributions to the development of labor jurisprudence through his advocacy before the National Industrial Court and other superior courts of record. In recognition of his excellence, professional distinction, and contributions to legal practice, he was elevated to the prestigious rank of Senior Advocate of Nigeria in the year 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we honor and welcome to our stage Imam Wilson, SAN. You're welcome, sir. Was the past MBA third vice president. So you're welcome. Please put your hands together for him as he makes his way up the stage. Please join us. Thank you. Your closest route is this way. Use the one that is leaving goes out through the closest exit. So you're welcome to use the closest. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Please let's make welcome Chidi Ezemwafo, MCARB, FIMC, CNS, former MBA Secretary Abuja Branch. 5 minutes trip for you. Yes. That way you cut the troubles that we have down here on land. You don't need ransomware, you're flying. It's only when you're on the road. Welcome. The chairman of the station, who will make a brief speech and then hand over to the lead speaker.
Thank you very much. Once again, I welcome everyone into this gathering. I don't know, I was hijacked on my way into the hall. I never dreamt about this, but as a guide, we are always told to be prepared always. You know, we always talk about speedy dispensation of justice, and we often complain about the long-hand system of taking down court procedures or the court proceedings. We have so many challenges in our legal system, and we talk about e-filing, e-signatures, e-stamp and seal, and lots more. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately or unfortunately, we have not gotten there. Sometimes we don't know the way forward. Sometimes we know the way forward. We ignore it and say, after all, it doesn't matter. There are instances where some judges and practicing lawyers will have to depend on outsiders to handle the system, computer system for them, the printing and the typing and everything, because we are not really qualified. We are not learning in that field. So I'm happy because we have seasoned discussants and paper presenter who will expose us to the areas, to the gray areas, and who will show us the way to follow as it concerns innovation and technology and the tools for transforming legal practice in Nigeria and outside the country. So please join me in welcoming our own, the son of the soil, our very own, the learned self, Ina Akwada Wilson, SAN, to make the representation.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, that wasn't meant to be like a classroom. Thank you very much for making up the time to attend this session. I believe MBA Eket has over, I don't know how many members, but this is less than 10% of the members of MBA Eket that are here. And the rest have better things to do. And so that's why I'm not here. And so I'm happy for them to do. Now, in the modern age, information is currency. what I always say to myself is that I will spend money, any amount, to get information. Because once you have information, you are exposed to the solutions to your problem. It's always a privilege to be in Eket for many reasons, one of which, and importantly, is that I am a son of the soil. I am homegrown, homemade, a product of this beautiful state called Akwa Ibom. And so for me, it's always a pleasure, a privilege and an honor to be invited to come and attend the Barwick, and then even more so to speak. I would like to therefore thank the branch chairman, my friend Peter Akwan, Esquire, for the invitation. Thank you very much. If nothing else, you've given me an excuse to come home. And I treasure that. Apologies again for starting late. It was partly due to technology, failure of technology, and which is why we are having this discussion today. Now, in the course of my practice, I have presented many papers, but I always say to myself, my paper will be worthwhile if one or two people understand what I'm saying, do what I am, my call to action, and their lives are improved by it. Why? When you come up here to speak, you're like the minister, a minister, to minister knowledge. And so, for those who have listening ears, please hear me out and listen attentively. I have come to bless you. The topic that I've been given to speak on is innovation and technology, tools for transforming legal practice. So I've already sent the paper to the chairman. I'm sure either in the course of my presentation or in the course of the day, we will share it with you. It's a very detailed paper, so, and if you don't have it, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to share it with you. I find this topic to be well thought out and should be of interest to any lawyer, whether you're a big lawyer, you're a small lawyer, whether you're a young lawyer, whether you're an old lawyer. If you run or intend to run a successful legal practice, then you need to listen to this topic. And I find myself privileged to be the one presenting this paper because I have had the privilege of working in Benin, practicing in Benin. In some ways, you can compare Benin to Akwa Ibom State. The nature of the practice is similar. The demographics are similar. And so I have practiced out of Benin. Then it used to be Bengal State, now Edo and Delta States. I have also practiced in a one-man law firm. I have practiced in a small firm. I have practiced in a mid-sized firm. And currently, by God's grace, I'm practicing in one of the biggest law firms in Nigeria. So I have experience, and so I can tell, based on my experience, that innovation and technology, they are the tools for transforming your legal practice. I would like to invite you to note that for some of you, once you see the topic, you think, oh, this is all about computers, this is all about software, this is about artificial intelligence, social media, digital platform, and so some people may not even have come because they don't have a computer in the office, for instance, or they are not techie, for instance. No, it's beyond that. Those are also tools that have, note the word innovation. And innovation is such an amorphous word. And I took pains to try to understand what the words innovation would imply. And I'm happy to say that it is much broader than technology. So technology may be an innovation, but not all innovations are technology. Because innovation simply means doing things differently. It means that you are bringing new ideas. It means that you are applying change to a certain situation. And so, I have seen that innovation has transformed many practices. My law firm is a good example. In the course of my paper, I'll try and speak more about it. Templars. Some of you would have heard about Templars. It's a very good example. I have been in Templars for 21 years now. I joined in 2005. And before then, I have been in other law firms. I practiced elsewhere. Why have I stayed in 21 years? Because it keeps evolving. It keeps changing. It keeps renewing itself. So it's not like a stagnant water that doesn't have life. There are innovations. And I will hopefully share those innovations with you in the course of my presentation. So if you pardon me a little bit, I think I have a little technical problem here, and I would like to see how to correct it. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, thank you very much for your patience. Thank you from my tab and my phone. That's technology. Yes. In those days, we'll have paper. Yes. Yes, that's innovation. So I have seen innovation and technology play out in my 36 years of practice. And sometimes I ask myself, if I was practicing in Eket, or I was practicing in Eket, what are the innovations that I would bring to my practice? What technology will I deploy to my practice? So, that question, I would like you to ask the same question yourself if you practice in Eket or Kwaito. Now, I've divided this paper into basically 3 parts. The first part I would like to talk about, to make a case why you should embrace innovation and technology as a lawyer. And in making that case, it's important for me to take you a little bit back to to the period when I started practice. I started practice in 1990, at a time when the technology as we know today were not in existence. So then practice was very manual and very analog. With due respect to those of you who practice here, at that time, a lot was paper-based. I'll just give a few instances, just so you will understand how far we have come, because if you were born in the 1990s, you would never have experienced this. If you were called to bar in the 2000s, you perhaps never experienced this. Now, over 90% of law firms at that time were litigation firms. Occasionally, they would do corporate work. I remember then in Benin, when Monday to Friday we go to court, then once in a while, First Bank will call, oh, we have perfection to do. Go to First Bank at Ring Group, they will give you the documents. Or we have searches to conduct. Go to the bank branch, they will give you the documents. Those were the nature of corporate work that were available at that time. But most of the work was litigation. I think that sounds familiar. If you practice in Akwa, that sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Exactly. A lot of the work that you have is litigation. Then once in a while you have a corporate work. Now, I think there were just a handful of commercial law firms at that time. And that is because the practice at that time was small. Even in the litigation practice, the areas of practice were limited. The traditional areas of practice, criminal law, land law, torts, maritime, aviation, petroleum, constitutional law, human rights, they were very closed. There were minimal corporate and commercial transactions. As a matter of fact, at that time, there were still firms that, I'm trying to choose my word properly now, foreign law firms at that time that were practicing in Nigeria. So the commercial law firms at that time had foreign elements in Lagos. So that most of the Nigerian law firms were litigation. Law firms then were typically one-man practice. As a matter of fact, I remember when I was starting out, I met this chief, and he told me the story of how he became a lawyer. In those days, that was before my time, that is, you go on a ship to the UK. That trip used to be like 2 weeks. And you land in the UK. So you know, at that time, in the 60s, there was no law school. There were no Nigerian universities, I think, studying law. I'm not sure, please don't quote me, right? But then the practice was, you would travel to London by ship, and when you get to London, you try to get into the inns. You know, you have the Grace Inn, those of you who are familiar with the UK practice. eat, and then you eat dinner, enroll to eat the dinner, then you take the exam and you qualify, and then you become a lawyer. When you come back also by ship, you just set up your law office. And if Inamusin and Co, simple. And you just do it for the rest of your life, and then it's gone. And that is why you will find that a lot of the big law firms that did the big litigation work at the time in the 90s, you don't hear about them anymore. They have disappeared. Some of you would only know Chief F.R.W. Williams in stories, in folklores. The office has disappeared. Some of you would know Chief Ganifo, and you are mentioning them because they are late, so they can't do anything now. Some of you would know Chief Ganifo Emi. You now know him only through his law report. But as a practice, it has disappeared. His practice has disappeared. And so the practice at that time was tied to the individual. Again, that sounds familiar in this jurisdiction. You set up shop, you work hard to expand the practice, you make money, you enjoy the money, you die, and you go, and the practice goes. Any person where wants making go hustle your own and enjoy and set it up, okay? I remember when a firm, Aloko and Yobode, when they were formed in the 1990s, then there were 4 partners. And then they split in the middle. 2 partners went this way, and 2 partners went that way. So Aloko Yobode stuck together. Aloko died. In fact, he became SAN. Not long after he got SAN, he died. That firm has grown bigger after his death. Why? Because it was a partnership. And the surviving partner was very strong and very active. So, sorry? Okay. So, they continue to expand. But in those days, partnerships were rare. Today, partnerships have come to stay. It is the nature of the partnership that is now the issue. But is there any partnership in Eket? Let me ask, just out of curiosity, is there any partnership in Eket? There is none. I pray that by the time I come and speak again, there will be partnership in Eket. This is innovation now. This is not technology. The idea of partnership is not technology, it is innovation. And why will I sell partnership to you? In Templars, where I work, we are 25 partners. We are over 120 lawyers. We can basically form an NBA branch. Yes. But when I joined in 2005, we were just a small firm. I remember when I was recruited in 2005, Mr. Ogogakpata, the managing partner, said to us, I'm trying to build a legacy. I'm trying to build a brand. I'm trying to build a law firm that is modeled after international law firms. Because at that time, the big work, the big instructions went to international law firms, not to Nigerian lawyers. And so, he recruited experts from different fields. I was brought in, apart from being litigation, I was shipping and maritime at the time. I had not started doing labor and employment. So I was brought in. And now, that generation of lawyers that were recruited, a lot of us have become partners, and we have expanded the business. The model is this. Mr. Chairman, let us say we set up a law firm called, I will use your abbreviations, IPA Practice. And you are partnered with the two gentlemen sitting right beside you. You're sandwiched in between them. You have a partnership. There's something called economies of scale. You have your competency. Mr. Ime has his competency. Doctor has his competency. There are things that doctor can do better than you. And there are things that Ime can do better than you. And so you say, let us pool resources together and make this practice grow. In 10 years' time, you will have capacity to do certain work that only you will struggle to do it because you will be overwhelmed. But because there are 3 of you, you'll be able to do it. So I give you another instance. Let's say a client walks into Templars. The client needs advice on corporate law, tax law, oil and gas law, labor and employment law, shipping and maritime, because there are some transactions that have these components. What happens? We form a team. We form a team. In Angle say, you're the shipping man and you do labor employment, come into the room. They get our tax guy, expert, come into the room. Oil and gas, come into the room. So you have a collection of experts in the room. And then you start to throw up issues and find solutions. That client walks away from that meeting knowing that all the angles have been covered. And is assured that he has the best legal advice. And one of the things we have learned is this. If you give good quality advice, you find somebody that will pay for it. A lot of people will not appreciate it, so they may not pay for it. But 1 or 2 people will come along that will pay for it, and it will make it worth your while. So don't be afraid to say, oh, nobody can afford me. Somebody is there that can afford you. The only reason why you haven't seen that person is because the person doesn't know that you can do what he wants, And so the person has taken the job to somebody else. But if that person knows that you can do what he is looking for, he will take you. So, the case I make is this. Law practice has changed. The way law is practiced has changed. The client's expectations have changed. Everything is changing. You must change. If you don't change, you will remain here, and you know things are happening in Akwa Ibom, right? On the economic front. So the other day, I came in through the new airport. It's really beautiful, by the way. If you've not been there, you should just go on an excursion. It's very beautiful. It is international standards, the new Victor Atta International Airport. I'm not speaking for the government. I'm speaking because I'm an Akwa Ibom man and I've seen it. Let me open your imagination a little bit. The airport will attract traffic into Akwa Ibom. The traffic will be both business people, tourists, and just passerbys, transit passengers. As a geographical location, you always need to have traffic into your place, because it is that traffic that generates business. And for you lawyers, it is that business that generates opportunities. So the airport is a huge opportunity. Even if you don't do aviation law, there are things around the airport that you can do. Ibom Seaport is, the documentation is progressing nicely. The documentation, that is. And it is a good thing that the documentation is progressing, because you need it to progress. And according to Google Maps, it is somewhere close to where we are now. Which means there will be knock-on effects from that seaport that you can take advantage of. Is somebody hearing me? Yes. Very good. So I am talking about things that has nothing to do with you, but in the next few years it will have a lot to do with you. So that takes me to the next part of my paper, which is practical examples of how innovation and technology is transforming legal practice. I would like to use 10 plus again as the case study. We have offices in Accra, Ghana, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and Lagos. How do you manage that kind of practice? You cannot do it manually. In the olden days, it would be difficult to run that kind of practice successfully. But today, we run the practice, you will not even know that one person is in Accra and the other person is in Port Harcourt. How? Tools, technological tools, and technological resources. So, for instance, we have one email, so that you understand what I mean. We have what we call Outlook. Outlook is an email-based resource. And so all our official emails are through Outlook. Some of you use Gmail, some of you use Yahoo Mails. They are not the best for businesses, they are at least mails. We use Outlook. So you have my email address. That's why when I put in my official email address, you see inam.wilson@templaslaw.com. Wherever I am in the universe, you send me an email, it delivers. I have a personal assistant who has access to that email. As it delivers to my personal assistant. My personal assistant takes note of the email. If it's an instruction, my personal assistant sends me a message on WhatsApp. Excuse me, sir, you have an email, you have an instruction from A, B, and C company. Who should I forward the instruction to? And I'll say, forward it to A, B, or C, or this person, and he forwards it to. How is that possible? Technology. We have Teams meeting. We use Teams meeting a lot. Some of you prefer Zoom, but big businesses prefer Teams meeting and Google Meet. But we use Teams a lot. Team is like a social platform and also a meeting platform, which means we can have a client that has work, cross-border work. It involves Nigeria and Ghana. We go on a Teams meeting and we discuss. We'll see each other live, brainstorm, come up with ideas, and provide a solution. Every Tuesday of every week, we have firm meetings in the morning. And the lawyers join from wherever they are. At that meeting, we do knowledge development. What I'm doing now, there's a presentation, there are segments for presentation. At that meeting, there's segment for reports and updates. Because we have litigation that runs into thousands, they have to be managed. That meeting is your forum for managing those cases. Technology helped us and is helping us there. And so, for you out here, I want to challenge you to invest in technology. And so, because I am concerned for you, maybe part of the reason why I'm concerned for you is because I say when I retire, I'll come back to Eket. So I want to be sure that when I come back to Eket, I will meet a yes, I'll meet colleagues and lawyers who are at my level. But I said, let me just do research to know, is it possible to deploy technology even at an affordable rate? And I went to AI. I wasn't sure about going to AI. I just put the question. And I was shocked what AI threw up at me. Some of you may already be familiar with and may not be using, or you're already using. One of the things that came up was Law Pavilion. Love Pavilion is a common name here. I remember when Love Pavilion started, they were begging us to subscribe. They were begging. They will come to every NBA conference. Come on. Now we are the ones begging Love Pavilion. Come on, come and sign me up. The Love Pavilion has grown into a very good resource. You can use it for your research. You can use it for precedents, for drafting contracts. It has so many uses. And it's cheap, and it's in Naira. Then Google Workspace. You could set up your firm account on Google and set it up as a business account. And you can do that too with Naira. Then payments. I don't know how many law firms here operate firm accounts. Like the account is for the firm and not for the owner of the firm. So there's a separate, in those days in law school, what's that name? Amina's account or somebody's account. That they say you need to separate your account as the owner of the business from that of the business. As a firm, do you have a payment platform? So in Templars, for instance, we have resources that generate invoices. In generating the invoices, there are markings. So there's an invoice number, for instance, something like to show the client what it was for and all of that. So it helps tracking bills. So that if you want to find out how much did we charge this client, have they paid, how much did they pay? The software helps you to track this. Because humans forget. Humans mix information up. But those softwares are there to assist. And storage of document, data. Some of you store your documents on your phone, and when your phone storage space has filled up, there is no more space to store. You can't receive documents. You can't save documents. You are stuck. There are cloud storage, and they are available for not for free, but we pay a little bit. Even your WhatsApp that we are all using every day, there's WhatsApp Business that is available for free. So what am I saying? And I need to spend a few minutes to say this again to you. Think about the upside, which is, what do I stand to benefit if I optimize my practice? In this profession, one thing I know, there is, let me look for the best way to put it. Every lawyer gets a windfall at one point or another. Every lawyer. If you're a lawyer, you haven't gotten a windfall, your windfall is on the way. Amen. Yes, you will get it. Every lawyer gets a windfall. A windfall is excess cash that just came from a transaction. What do you do with it? It's difficult advising people when it comes to their finances. But this is free advice I'm giving you. Divide it into 3. 1/3 of it, invest it in your practice. You cannot, by any magic, be successful as a lawyer if you do not invest in your practice. Should be your second home. Fully air conditioned, have a generator set, AC. You must have AC in your office. I commend it to you. You think it is, you don't know what it is to have AC. I commend AC in your office. Have AC in your office. So that when you go to your office in the afternoon, you turn on your AC. See the ideas that will come to you. Look, in 10 class, again, forgive me to go back to 10 class. We spend money to equip the office and make the office comfortable. In fact, the office is so comfortable, it's more comfortable than your home. You can be in the office and it's 12 midnight, you don't know. Because everywhere is lit up, AC is working, there is TV if you want to go and watch World Cup. There is library that is comfortable. There is the lunchroom that has coffee, that has water. Make your office as good as your home. Because it's a seed. And every seed planted on good ground multiplies. So when you make money, I know you want to build your personal house, that is fine. But also build an office. Because you need to have a legacy. If you're not giving it down to your children, donate it to an aspiring young lawyer who doesn't have the facility. You will change that lawyer's life forever. So this is my humble appeal to you as I conclude my presentation this morning. So is technology the answer to all questions? No. Is technology fail-proof? No. Technology has its challenges, but in the grand scheme of things, it is better to be technology reliant than not to have it. Because in the world that we are going, I keep preaching this gospel, in the world that we are going, when things start happening in Akwa Ibom, there are foreigners who will sit down in Italy, in Spain, in the US, in Dubai. They have no idea about Nigerian geography. So they just Google commercial law firms in Eket or commercial law firms in Akwa Ibom. Let it be that your law firm will pop up. Your law firm will not pop up if you don't have a website. So a website is mandatory. And then when they see your email, it shouldn't be inanwilson@yahoo.com. it should be inam.wilson@mylawfirm.com. Then they know that you're serious. Look, you can make dollars. I didn't say naira. You can make dollars sitting in this state if you're connected to the outside world. Then you have to have a dollar account. They cannot say we want to send you dollar. I say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have a domiciliary account. You must have it. You must have facility to receive foreign currency. Because after the naira has been bruised and battered, foreign currency will remain strong. And when you have that opportunity to start earning it, you know that you have truly arrived. I thank you very much for the privilege, and I thank you very much for having me again. Please don't be bored having me. I'm going to be coming some more, so better get used to me coming here. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for Nancy. I think we can all agree that he did justice to the subject. Can we clap for him one last time? I'm in a better position to introduce him because I probably know him more than anyone else because I have worked with him. I have worked his very back. And so, let me introduce to you my boss. Ben Udede holds an LLM in intellectual property and technology law from the University of Liverpool. So he's joining the panel as an expert, someone who knows exactly what we are discussing today. You're welcome, sir. May I at this point hand over to the chairman of the session so that discussions will continue. This is what I can tell you. This session is very productive if you apply your mind to it, if you follow the conversations. Please, if you have questions, note them down.
Bring justice to that topic. I want to add this, or should I say, let me break it down. What Benedict said, in the modern age, information is currency. That's a quotation, I will never forget that one. He also spoke from his reservoir of knowledge and experience. He reminded us that technology is innovation, but not all innovations are technology. He also said we should embrace technology and innovation as lawyers because law practice and client expectations have changed. Therefore, we must change. He also used even airports as an example. Now that the airport has changed, it will begin to attract traffic from all over the world. He also said something like, your advice will earn you windfall. I think that was what he said. So that we should begin to change, we should change and bring in new ideas. It took us back to the days where litigation practice was the order of the day, which is still what we have here in Akwa State. And he urged us to move out from that aspect. And from the aspect of the one-man practice, he made us to see the need for partnership as is obtainable and the Templars which I would personally love to visit. Yes. The speaker also said we should get ready for the least opportunity, which will call for innovations and technology, like the even deep sea which is almost around the corner. We should get prepared. Then he talked about practical example of how technology and innovation could transform legal practice. Even though the latest speaker did not talk about how it could affect legal practice, yes, let me say the word legal practice in the judiciary as regards to adjudication. Please, you are waiting for that. I'm particularly interested in that. So he said, using semblance as an example, we should make use of these tools, such as Outlook for our email, for a wider coverage. Talk about the use of Teams Meet, Google Meet, for cross-border and work meetings. Use of Law Pavilion for research, drafting contracts, and precedents. Encourage us to use Google Workplace for payments and generating invoices and for tracking of bills. The speaker also encouraged us to use cloud storage for storage of data in another app such as the WhatsApp Business. Yes, the speaker also advised us that we should make our office a home away from home. We should get it equipped. We should make it comfortable enough. Also that we should get our website so that we will be recognized internationally, globally. Though he said technology is not the alpha and the omega. But I want to say this, please permit me. He said that technology is no good in their help. Thank you very much. Now, we are going to listen to contributions from the discussions. We are happy that while we were waiting here, we have Leonard Ben Ndede join us. Please, we are now going to start with Bab Okoye Aniche Esquire. Please, we are also interested in sharing from your wealth of knowledge. What have you to add to the lecture of your country as regards technology and innovation in legal practice? Please, 3 minutes.
The moderator, learned sir, my pleasure, fellow discussants, learned colleagues. You see, this is a new age, a digital age. Most of us, just like NSA said, when we called in the 90s and early 2000s, may not be technologically savvy. But as we are moving, we will be left behind because there's no choice. There's no choice. I wonder what people properly call Gen Z, what they will do that you, as an old hand, you cannot sit back and do well too. To me, there's no big deal. All you need to do is to pay attention and change. If change is constant in human endeavors, you can also change to adapt with technology. Technology is not here maybe to take the work of lawyers, but for sure it will take over your work if you refuse to upgrade. Some other people who have upgraded will surely, take it over. Technology is good. Technology is good, and it's internationally acclaimed now. So you don't have a choice. So when you start to run away, let me tell you, I've learned to type. I can now type. Before I used laptop and I type. I'm surprised at even the speed at which I type now. Yes, I'm even using technology for my campaign. You know, a colleague in Aba said, imagine that you are everywhere. Imagine you are now on Instagram, you are on YouTube, everywhere. I said, it's technology. So you don't have a choice. You have to upgrade. You have to upgrade. So what I'm saying is, technology has come to stay. Technology has come to stay. Even in the evidence, when you are talking of Evidence Act. Evidence Act, I mean, speaks more now on electronic evidence and various forms of electronic evidence. Now tell me, if you are not technologically savvy, how would you, I mean, showcase your case in court? So you don't have a choice. It has come to stay. So we just have to, I mean, largely up to technology. And it will help you so much because it got speed. There is speed, and you don't have to scatter everywhere. Those days we say we are researching. If you come to your office, you are researching, books and leaflets are everywhere. No. But with technology, you can do some of those things, I mean, seamlessly and perfectly. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And Chair, he said, if you don't join us, you'll be left behind. He also said that we should not be afraid that technology will take over the work of the lawyer. Even though I have a question there, please, what about the fear that AI will be going to court to represent the litigants and doing the work, and when AI will begin to draft documents and lawyers will no longer be recognized? I'll come back to that. Thank you very much. So all it says is that we should embrace technology for better understanding of the evidence and as regards the electronic documentation. Thank you very much, sir. A round of applause to you for your contribution. We now move over to Chidi Esewa for S1. Please, sir, what have you got to say?
Thank you, everybody. I think I will first of all commend the lead presenter. The paper, even though we don't have the copy, but the presentation was so good that even not having the copies, we flowed with it. Thank you, sir, for well-researched paper. When you talk about innovation and technology, I would rather draw practical experiences. I'm a lead partner in a firm. I manage Ezema & Co, and we're a partnership, not as big as Templars. We're still a mid-sized firm, but we have about 17 lawyers who I lead across 3 continents. So I think we are trying to come. Now, when you talk about technology, I had a meeting this morning with somebody in the UK, somebody in Canada, and myself in Nigeria. And we couldn't have done that if it wasn't technology. It's back in the days, it was impossible. We're providing immigration support, and we have an asylum issue that we had to deal with. And I'm in Eket, yet nobody knows I'm in Eket, because we all spoke and we have clear directions on what we want to do. That's technology. Innovation is something that it's not a luxury. If you don't innovate, you will lose efficiency, you will lose productivity, and you will lose money. I'll give you a practical example. Recently, I had to deal with several requests for salary increase in the office. Cost of living has gone up. And it kept coming. We adjusted sometime last year, did some salary increase. After a while, it kept back again, the same recurring thing. And I sat down and I said with my team, what do we do? Because colleagues in the office are looking for more money. And then they said, we'll adopt the Lagos style. I think the Lagos style basically started out of traffic. Lagos practitioners come into the office sometimes a week and then do virtual. So in my office now, we come in on site 3 days a week and 2 days we do virtual. And that took care of some of the transport expenses. And the demand came down. That's innovation. Nobody is harassing me again for transport because you just sit in your house and you do work. Now that's innovation. We had issues with clients who would come in, call you at very crazy odd hours, and we had to engage a law firm in the US to do some work for us. And they sent us a contract. And the contract is specified times when we should call, mode of communication, even when it's an emergency. So I said, you know what, this is good. Because I had one client that would call me by 2 a.m. And one Yoruba guy, and he'll say, oh God. I said, what is wrong? I'm sleeping, 2 a.m. So I said, you know what, going forward, once you engage us, we give you a contract. Or God will spell it out. If it's an emergency, leave a message, we'll attend to it. These are no doubt. And it all stopped. No more crazy calling out because you have paid me some money, and that's innovation. Now, when you marry innovation and technology, the landscape has changed completely. Completely. I corrected the Supreme Court brief this morning that they did, put it on we have a cloud drive. I looked at it this morning, corrected it. I was out partying the whole of last night, and I told my phone, wake me up at so time this morning. And my phone woke me up. I looked at it, made my corrections, sent it back. As I speak to you now, they have filed it at the Supreme Court. I couldn't have done that if it wasn't technology. So if you're a lawyer in the room and you're still waiting for technology to catch up with you, the truth is that it has gone ahead of us. We are now doing catch up. But there are so many tools out there, and to be very honest, some of them are very cheap. Some of us have ChatGPT. It's generative AI. The problem some of us have with some of this technology that's coming to legal practice is not understanding it. Older models of this AI were not generative. They were garbage in, garbage out. Now this is generative, so it learns. It keeps getting better. The problem lawyers have is that we rely on it solely as an end in itself. It is not an end. It is an assistant. It's there to assist you. And like every assistant, I was going to the airport yesterday with my driver. And he's been my driver for 6 years now, but I'm still talking to him. I say, no, don't stay in between the lines. Go back. You do that with every assistant. Now with AI, if you keep, the problem is that some of us have relinquished knowledge to the AI. The AI is now the one giving, if you give it specific parameters, specific instructions, there are times I use AI and it will hallucinate. It will give me completely something that you wonder, are you normal? Even me, I want to ask you, are you normal? But then I go back and I reset the parameters. And you will find out that it will give you better output. Sometimes the free versions of these things might, but they still do a bit of work. So there is no way you will practice today in the world, today, and you want, well, there's also people who, incidentally, maybe they don't aspire to get bigger than what they are. There are people like that. I met a lawyer once in the US, and he's in a small county. He still has the regular dialing phone. He was 62 at the time, and as far as he was concerned, it was okay what he was doing. He was a public defender, and he didn't care for much. You could have people like that, but if you want to be relevant in today's legal society, in today's circle, you have to embrace innovation and technology. I was telling my brother yesterday, I'm here losing money, doing campaigns. Somebody said, how are you making money? How are you surviving? We got an instruction this morning. I don't know the client. We've done some work for some Chinese clients, and I got an instruction this morning on my webmail. So the client went to our website, just checked out our website, checked what we had done, and then sent us an instruction. And I forwarded it to my team lead. I said, see this person who can well now before they will run. But it couldn't have been possible. From China, And he looked at what we're doing and then sent in an instruction. Wanted to discuss. We have set up a meeting later this evening, giving, and the time is no longer a problem. You can deal with clients all over the world if you embrace innovation and technology. I like the distinction Leonard brought. Innovation is not technology. Technology is part of innovation. Sometimes innovation might be as simple as when I was a young lawyer growing, I worked in the regular firms, traditional firms. People would come, my boss would hear them out. That was how we were learned. And then give them a bill. Some would say, let me go and think of it. I'll come back. Some will never come back. I said, okay. But then I went to a law firm, because don't be shy to borrow. Don't be shy to learn. And I was in a law firm, and then they had a client who was going to come, and the principal partner said, I'm not going to see him. I said, okay, why? He said, because they've not advised me that it's paid consultation fee. I said, okay. He said, yes. If he doesn't pay consultation, just a second. If he doesn't pay consultation fee, I won't see him. I took that one, I put it in my pocket, and I went back. Now if you call me, I want to see you. You must first pay consultation fee. That's innovation. Because when the man comes, I found out that Nigerians particularly, when they pay you consultation fee, they don't want to go and pay another way. So they are more likely to want to stay back. They will negotiate. But even if you don't come back, you want to go and think about it. I've earned my fees for the time I used to listen to you. That's innovation. I didn't go to court, but I made money. Thank you. And then let me also remind you that I'm a candidate for the office of General Secretary in the NBA election. My name is Chidiez Owafo. And if you are now, campaigns are open, so I employ everybody in the room to please support me and vote me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I said the speaker to be in a private state for the campaign today. Yes. I've also mentioned how we have meetings in the UK and Canada this morning because of technology and innovation. Also say that we should embrace the new models of AI because it assists. If you want to be relevant, embrace it. He also talked about virtual legal practice. And he said lack of innovation results to a decline in productivity. He encouraged us to embrace innovations and technology. Now we move over to Ben as well. So please, we've been singing the praises of the innovation and technology. I would like you to tilt a bit apart from what we've been saying, of leading so much more, of committing all our resources into technology, and yes, the innovations that we embark upon that brings about negative results. Please.
Thank you, Chairman of Session. I would thank you, Leneso, for the paper. I did hear a good chunk of it. Now, the question is, what do we do to not see technology in the negative perspective, right? I would say quickly that we need to earn clients' confidence in the use of technology. Many clients still have the impression that it will take a very long time before court proceedings are out, for instance, when you apply for them. Many of them need to know exactly what happened in court. Like I just came in from court, and because the session was long, I had to wait to finish it. Many of us have WhatsApp, for instance, and we assume that the client must physically come, pay their way, inconvenience themselves and all that before they can have feedback. Many of us still take clients for granted, not giving them proper feedback, not explaining to them what exactly happened in court. It is your duty as a lawyer, when a client has reposed confidence in you, to put down a report of exactly what transpired in court. You can do that by writing the name of the judge, the name of the case, the parties that appeared, and so on and so forth. If you even write your report by hand, and perhaps type it, put it on the AI part of WhatsApp, for instance, and say, convert this to a legal report of what transpired in court. It will do it beautifully and create subheads. Now, copy that or even forward it directly to the client. That way, just your WhatsApp alone has saved the client to know exactly what happened in court. Why do I say this? In the past, we used to go and deposit money in banks, right? And we walk away. But as soon as one bank realized that even though you deposited and collected a slip, they need to send you an SMS to show that you have just made a deposit. They will show you that credit. That boosts your confidence to say, okay, they have recorded. I also have evidence that my money has entered. Is that correct? So, once you finish and send a feedback to the client, it boosts the client's confidence. Also, for instance, last week, two months ago, I was expected to be in China to present at a conference where investors were to come to Nigeria. We applied for visa. It took a while. We had to follow up on a whole lot of things. Then our partner in the Chinese law firm just told me, Ben, you know what? Although he spoke in China to a translator who now sent the message to me. And even when he speaks in Chinese, I still find a way to send it and translate immediately. He told me, why not do a video and send to us? So that we will not have glitches when you are doing your own presentation from Uyo. And I immediately got a friend who came with a triple stand like this and videoed. And I did my presentation. And then we did a transcription by the side and sent it to them. So in less than 24 hours, even though there was time difference, they were able to present and send it to us. Why am I saying all this? Because even when you have a client that is presenting from Australia, for instance, I came from a family court just now, and our client was to testify from Australia. Because of time difference, we've been quarreling with the court, going back and forth on whether the client should be foreclosed or not. We had to now bring an application that the court should permit this client to virtually testify over child custody. These are things that would not be possible without technology. So how do you avoid technology being a negative when you have proper feedback with the client and take time to explain what this session was all about? Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's a round of applause for you. He said we should always have proper feedback with our clients. We should let them know about what transpired in court and the next step. That's an aspect of innovation. I think we should have more reactions from everyone here. Please, organizers, like how many questions should we take? And 2 questions. Yes, I believe we've talked about innovations and technology in legal practice. We will entertain just 2 questions.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Lisa, for that very robust presentation. My contribution is not towards the group of technology. We all know that. We are all using technology. And using technology to speak, and it was hearing me. Rather, what I will also encourage us to do is to look out for the flip side of technology. Now, we have more financial fraud in the banks than what it was before that armed robbers used to storm the bank. Armed robbers would storm the bank, go out with a few millions. But now, the volume is very high. Why we invite technology? Why we go into cloud computing, we go into generative AI and all these other technologies. Understand that nothing good comes easy. When you are dwelling on those applications that are free, please, when you are dwelling on those applications that are free, please be ready to face the consequences of those free things. One, data breaches, stolen identities. So in as much as we want to embrace technology, please pay for it, no matter how little. Because those ones that you pay for, if there's any breach, you have a contract. Somebody will be held responsible. But for the ones that are free, everything that you post there, anybody can get it. So, and most times as lawyers, we deal with confidential information. So you limit, or you also guide how you use or you deploy these technologies. But on the whole, technology is a wonderful thing. It makes you sleep and wake up whenever you want to wake up, unless when our Father calls you. But this technology, they are still striving, I don't know, but I know they will never get there. Thank you.
I just wanted to add to what the legacy said in his earlier presentation of we are not having much partnership firms around here. It's possible because the briefs that are coming in here are a bit low, because I believe that partners shares from the briefs. So by God's grace, as we keep having bigger briefs, where 3 or 4 persons can share from it and still grow big, I think partnership firms will be developing a point. Thank you, sir.
Bringing more, this other person is not bringing more. I don't know if you can highlight some of those challenges and how to solve them. Many people are open to it, and some people, they are just like Chidi said, it is myself and my family forever. If my son is not studying law, I would rather lock up the law books. Some are open to it, but they've gotten their fingers burnt. Is there any way around that, sir?
Very much. That's a very important issue, and that issue relates to innovation, the issue of innovation. Let me say that there's nothing that is man-made or involves men that is perfect. That's where we should start from. Marriage is good, but we have high rate of divorce. Why? Sometimes a very good marriage that looked very promising just somehow falls apart. So no human relationship is perfect. And therefore, we cannot say, oh, because people divorce, I will not marry. Or because you have car crash, I will not drive a car. Or we have air crash, I will not fly and on a flight. I'm happy that Mr. Ezenwafo is in a partnership. I don't know how there's evolved. In 10+, the way the partnership evolved was there was an owner. The owner, I was employed as an associate in the firm, and then I was made a partner. So a lot of the partners, in fact, all the partners became partners through that way. At the beginning, we didn't sit down with Mr. Akpata to say, okay, let's form a partnership, and then we now started bargaining the terms and conditions. Mr. Akpata felt these are good resources, we need to have these people, I need to incentivize them. I need to first incentivize them to work with me, then I also need to disincentivize them from going away. Therefore, he makes you a partner. So, imagine, for instance, the revenue Mr. Ezenwoke will be, Ezenwafo can relate to this. Not all your partners do what you're doing very good. and some of them are in the office, you are here. So, the way I see it, if you were to practice on your own, how successful will you be on your own? When you determine that, obviously you will not know until you are back to the journey, but if you were going to be successful by 60%, if your partner was also going to be successful, both of you will be more successful if you come together as partners, because you will now be able to combine resources together to achieve what you want to achieve. Trust, even as our father would know, even in current partnership, even in ours, trust issues are dealt with every day. Because once money is involved, everybody has a sense of entitlement. But it's the way you handle it, it's the way it's communicated, and it's the way that everybody understands that you will make money. Now, when some people see me, they don't know that I am a partner in the law firm, because they think I own my own law firm. Why? Because I operate as if I am my own employer. Because I take ownership of what I do. So, and my employer makes sure that I will go out and do everything as if it's my business, because when the money comes into the pool, I'm going to get something out. So let me say to you, do not be discouraged by the disadvantages of partnership. Be encouraged by the advantages, because it is from the fullness of your heart that your mouth will speak. Be positive, be optimistic, believe that it will work. And if it doesn't work, nicely walk away and go and look for another partner. There is always a partner out there somewhere that you can work with. Or you can do, there are just so many ways. This is not the partnership topic. This topic is about innovation and technology, not about partnership. But when we speak about, maybe another session we can have, another day, Eket, how to develop partnerships in Eket, then we can explore all the options. Option 1 is you grow into the partnership. Option 2 is two people come together, they form partnership. Option 3, I think those are the main 2 options basically. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lenesi, for your insight. The simple truth from my experience, and I'll give you an experience on 2 sides of the coin. I have been in a partnership before when I left. And I left willingly because it was called a partnership. It was not a partnership in true sense of it. I was head of litigation in that partnership. And then money comes in, and I don't know how much came in. I don't know what goes on. Whatever I'm given is what I get. And what my principal partner or the lead partner was spending was a clear indication that the firm was doing well. So I quietly left. Now, the truth is, he had mentioned it before when he spoke. If you have to have a partnership, you have to have a firm account. The money is good there. Where sometimes, I think about 2 years ago, one of my partners just became funny that money is coming into the office, blah, 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 blah. I said, now, let's audit the accounts. That's the only account money goes to. We audited the accounts. By the time we took off expenses, running costs and everything, he saw that we were very broke. We were managing to survive. The truth is, in partnership, apart from people who take, there are people who their personality will clash with you, not going to partnership with them. But once you're able to remove the money issue, your partnership is 90% likely to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let us will do justice to the issue of partnership. For today, I want to appreciate everyone for their active participation. Thank you, Leonard Silk. Thank you, Leonard Ezewafo. Thank you, Leonard Okoye. And thank you, Leonard Dede, our own. I just want to add that from all we've discussed since morning, you should take this back home. Make sure for innovations and technology to thrive in legal profession, make sure you equip your offices with steady power supply. Because without electricity, power supply, how do we, like I was talking the other time and the mic, the light, everything went off. Without constant power supply, I don't think we'll be able to achieve anything as far as technology is concerned. Also, second point is that endeavor to learn from others, network with others, collaborate with others, even if it means doing outside the country. Find out how they were able to get where they are and what they need, in order to get there. Make sure you bring in new ideas and break new grounds. When you break new grounds, you be in a position to share your knowledge and your innovations. Also, when you are sourcing for information, make sure you confirm the sources of your information so that you are not misled, or so that you don't use your 2 legs to walk into the hands of fraudsters. Again, acquire knowledge and technological skills. It is time for us to forge ahead and learn new things. Lastly, build trust. Ensure sharp practices. We would love to be in partnership, but because when we see money, we forget our surnames. When we see money, we miss the road. If we were to go here, but because of the picture of the huge sum of money involved, we miss our way. So let's endeavor to build trust and shun sharp practices. Thank you very much, NBA, Eket, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Please remain seated. Thank you, Leonard, lead speaker, Leonard ACN. Please give the Lord a round of welcome. We will acknowledge the former chairman of the branch, Leonard Anefa Ekwere Esquire. In the same way, we will also recognize Mr. Nfon Etgudon Esquire, former chairman of this branch. Welcome, sir. You made a contribution earlier on. Thank you very much. Let us see. I think that in the future, we should have breakout sessions where the individual panelists will share the different sessions, because the wealth of experience that we have from this is rushed, and I think that in the future we will innovate. We will have the vote of thanks before a photo session with the panelists and Milord and former chairman and the branch chairman. Can we have the branch secretary come up for a vote of thanks, very briefly?
I'd make a request to the Leonard Silk. Leonard Silk, you talk about owning domiciliary accounts, and we please request that when next year do your presentation, don't forget the judiciary and very much.
Session, Chief Magistrate Esther Etgudon, the lead speaker, Leonard Silk, Inam Wilson. I wish to be like you someday. The discussants, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Members of the audience, Leonard Senior here present, I'm here on behalf of the branch to say thank you for doing justice to the topic. I believe that our minds have been enlightened and there's something to take home. We thank you for the sacrifice that you made to be here. I know some of you traveled all the way from Lagos. I mean, that's Abuja, far distances from here. As a branch, we say thank you. We can never thank you enough. We can only attempt to say we are grateful. For those of us in the audience, your active participation made it all look okay. And surely it went well. We thank you all. We couldn't have done this without you. And we say thank you. We owe you nothing other than to say thank you. And God bless you. We look forward to seeing you even tomorrow for the finale of it all. And we sure believe that you'll be here and to make it a success. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much.